A very useful function that we see a lot, especially if you are working with Wolfram alpha, is this sine or signum function. So this function is defined in the following manner. It's the sine of x is 1 if x is positive, strictly positive. It's 0 if x is 0, and it's minus 1 if x is less than 0. So it's a function that assigns 1 if the values of the function are positive. It's 0 if x is 0, and it assigns minus 1 if the function is negative. So here we can see that if we graph our function, so let's work on only this function, sine of x. So if x is positive, that means it's on top here. So that means x is here too, okay? Because here our function f of x is x. That means we assign 1, okay? So the value is 1. If x is 0, we give it 0. If x is negative, we give it minus 1. Okay, here we need to be careful here in the boundaries, okay? So here, this is our function. So if x is positive, we have plus 1. X negative, minus 1. And if x is 0, we give it 0. Okay, for instance, okay, let's find the signum or the sine of x to the power 4 plus 1. Okay, so here we can solve this one quickly by saying that x to the power 4 plus 1 is always bigger than 0 for all x's in R. So that means this one is always positive. Therefore, its sign is going to be 1 for all x. So this is the sign or the signum of x to the power 4 plus 1. Because this function is defined for all the values of R, for each x in R. And it's always positive. It's always bigger than 0. Okay? So therefore, this is the signum, the graph of the signum of the x to the power 4 plus 1. Okay? On the other hand, we see that x to the power 4 minus 1 is 0. 1x is a plus or minus 1. Okay? And we see that x to the power 4 is bigger than 1. Okay? When x is bigger than 1 or x is less than minus 1. If x is in this interval, minus 1, 1, x to the power 4 minus 1 is less than 0. Okay, so here we get all the results that we need to graph the sign of x to the power 4 minus 1. So we said when x and also when x is 0, that means when the function is 0. Okay, that means when x is 1 or minus 1. So the function is 0. When x is bigger than 1 or minus 1, the function is positive. That means we gave it 1. When x is between minus 1 and 1, the function is negative. That means we give it minus 1. Okay, here. Okay, so this is the signum for the function x to the power 4 minus 1. Okay, this function, the signum of or the sign of some function, can be periodic. Okay, if we think about the sign of the cosine of x. Okay, so this one will be if you remember that 0 pi 2 pi minus pi minus 2 pi. If you try and graph the cosine function, you will see that the sine or the signum of the sine or the cosine of x will be periodic. Okay, so it's good to know. Thank you.